You know, I thought it was one of his first interviews, but it's his first interview since the plane crash that almost killed him. Nigel Farage coming up in 8 minutes. I apologize to Bob Chapman for having him run over by Tucker, but that interview was kind of not timed right because so much is going on. But I know Bob Chapman of the internationalforecaster.com understands. Go there, get a free copy of the Forecaster, and of course we'll have a full hour with him next week. You were trying to finish up the banking collapses taking place, but they've also been caught hiring between 400 and 500. Now they're saying, some are saying 1 million census people a month and then firing them each month as temporary and then skewing the numbers to show that as separate jobs. So give us your take on that and where the economy's going in the next 4 minutes.
Well, the take is exactly as you described it. They're falsifying the data. It's just another way of doing it. I have a piece in tomorrow's issue which describes how dreadful the figures that were just released are, and most people don't realize it because they don't follow the intricacies of how those figures are made up that go into the employment report. But they were bad, and that's being reflected. The Dow is down right now 315 points, and it's going to get worse. And it's on low volume, which tells you that it'll probably go down rather quickly from here. It's below 10,000. The whole thing is a masquerade in employment. The recovery, whatever there was of a recovery, is over. We're on our way down. Otherwise, Larry Summers the other day wouldn't have asked for $200 billion, and the legislature passed a $73 billion extension of unemployment benefits. They're looking for $500 billion. They're looking for the Fed to come in with another $1.5 trillion. The economy cannot continue to go even sideways without that kind of infusion. And they're going to have to come up with it. And what's going to happen? We're going to have eventually hyperinflation. First, more inflation that they're going to have to admit to, too. Not the real figures, but they'll have to admit to it.
Bob?
One of the things I wanted to say was that Jim Tucker and I were together at the Spotlight. I was a financial editor back when it started, and now it's the American Free Press. So we go back a long way. What were you going to say?
No, you were talking. I actually suddenly lost audio for a moment, so I'm sorry I was interrupting. It seems like even when I'm trying to not interrupt, I'm hell-bent on it. But finish up about Jim, the point you were making.
Oh, yeah, Jim and I, he was the editor of the Spotlight, and I used to do the financial column along with G. Gordon Tether back in the early days of getting the word out, so to speak. And now
is there nothing you haven't done anywhere in the Patriot community? You've had your hands in it. That's good.
Well, you know, I saw what was going on. I understood the problem. I got outside the box. I had been trained well. I had a great education. I worked in counterintelligence. I lived all over the world. I spoke several languages. I had everything in the world going for me, and I used it. And I'm still using it. I'm not going to give up until I can't walk or talk anymore.
Well, Bob Chapman, we haven't won this fight. That much is clear. But you can really see the tide shifting. And to hear from a Guardian prestigious, that's one of the most prestigious papers in the world, saying he was there as they were kicking people out and saw head security people talking about how horrified they were of me, like I was a 100-foot goblin. I mean, that just shows these people are not invincible, Bob.
And people not showing up is very telling. That means that they don't want the exposure. They are undecided whether their program for world government is going to work. Some of them have already admitted that it's not, and Brzezinski's one of them. He knows they've got to have war in order to just survive. And they're not going to survive because if we have a war, and once it's over, we're going to drag all these people up to Nuremberg-type trials and try them just like they did the Nazis.
Powerful info, Bob Chapman. We'll talk to you again next Friday, Lord willing. Thanks for spending time with us. Well, Nigel Farage, the former head of the UK Independence Party, the fastest-growing party in the UK, member of the European Parliament, He ran for the UK Parliament and barely lost against the Speaker position. And on the day of the election, his aircraft tipped end over end, nearly killing him and the pilot. And we were just talking during the break. This is his first interview. And he'd also, just coinciding, his book is now published. It's now available at Amazon.com. It's Fighting Bull. The Fighting Toro, Nigel Farage, Fighting Bull. And it's him with a bullhorn on the front with the British flag, Union Jack, I guess, as an umbrella over his shoulder. Nigel Farage, Farage spelled F-A-R-A-G-E, Fighting Bull. Great name. And how he's taking on the globalists, the unelected Eurocrats that now make 70+% of the laws in the UK. Our fight against the New World Order is ongoing. Mr. Farage, it is great to have you here, sir. You've got 9 lives.
Just amazing. Anybody listening to this that sees the pictures of the crash, which I'm sure you can get and put up on your site, and these incredible photographs of me lying in the wreckage of this light aircraft crash, and you'd have thought for all the world I'd be dead. And whilst I've been badly injured, it really has been the most miraculous escape. It really has.
Folks are wondering, I mean, I know you've got a stiff upper lip and don't want to talk about yourself, but, the pilot, how he's doing and what your injuries were.
Well, the pilot was a former Royal Air Force trained pilot, so, no cowboy. I mean, a proper chap. It was a genuine accident. In life, accidents happen. You can't insulate yourself against this. When you have an impact injury, such as we had, lots of unpleasant things happen. Justin, the pilot, had lacerations and cuts and broken bones, and he's also got some bad skin problems. He's going to need skin grafts and whatever. And I finished up with 10 broken bones in my upper body. So sternum broken, fractures to the spine, mercifully not huge ones, and virtually every rib front and back broken, plus a punctured lung. So, a pretty comprehensive list of injuries. Facially, a few cuts on the face, but nothing too awful. But mercifully, no real head injuries. So if those awful, ghastly Eurocrats that want to take over my country and destroy our democracy think they've got rid of me, they've got another thing coming, because it may take me a few months to get better, but I'm going to be back fighting them.
Absolutely, and I was saying, you're such a champion of liberty. If we have to, we'll just stick you in a Darth Vader iron lung and roll you out against the enemy.
I'm going to be back, and one of the really interesting things, since I had this accident, is the one great prediction that I've had over the years was that this attempt to take countries like Greece and Germany and to force them together in a single monetary union. I've been saying for over 10 years that it wouldn't work. And whilst I've been laid up in hospital and back here at home recovering, of course, we're now seeing the collapse of that monetary system. We're seeing riots on the street in Greece. We've seen people die.
And by the way, to interrupt, and I'm going to give you the floor, sir, in the time we have,